Have you ever wondered how it all began? Not with a bang, but with a void. Before gods, before humans, before anything we recognize, there was only chaos. In Greek mythology, chaos wasn't a deity, but a state, an infinite, formless, swirling abyss of pure potential. It was the ultimate beginning, a cosmic yawn from which everything would eventually spring. From this boundless emptiness, the first primordial beings emerged, bringing the very first semblance of order to the universe. The first was Gaia, the earth, a vast and solid foundation. Then came Tartarus, the deep, dark pit of the underworld, a place of punishment and confinement. And finally, Eros, the irresistible force of love and attraction, the cosmic glue that would bind everything together. These three weren't just gods. They were the fundamental principles upon which reality itself would be built. Gaia, the great Mother Earth, didn't remain alone for long. From her own being, she brought forth a partner equal to herself, Uranus, the starry sky. He arched over her, a magnificent celestial dome, and together, Gaia and Uranus became the first cosmic couple. Their union was profound, establishing the very boundaries of our world, the earth below, and the heavens above. They were the parents of the first generation of gods, and their story would set the stage for everything that followed. Their children were extraordinary, unlike anything the cosmos had seen before. First came the 12 Titans, powerful and majestic beings who would one day rule the universe. Among them were Oceanus, the world-encircling river, Hyperion, the Lord of Light, and the clever Cronus, whose destiny was yet to unfold. But Gaia and Uranus also gave birth to more monstrous offspring. There were the Cyclopes, 3 one-eyed giants who were master craftsmen, skilled in forging incredible weapons. And then there were the Hecatoncheires, the 100-handed ones, terrifying beings of immense strength, with 50 heads and 100 arms each. But Uranus, the Sky Father, looked upon his children with fear, not love. He was terrified of their power, especially the raw, untamed might of the Cyclopes and the 100-handed ones. He saw them as a threat to his reign, a challenge to his authority. Driven by this paranoia, he committed a terrible act. He took his monstrous children and thrust them back into the womb from which they came, imprisoning them deep within the body of their mother, Gaia. Imagine the agony the great Earth Mother, forced to carry the crushing weight of her own imprisoned children within her. Her love turned to pain, and her pain festered into a burning rage. Gaia's suffering was immense. The constant turmoil within her was unbearable. She couldn't endure her husband's cruelty any longer. Her heart, once full of love for Uranus, now seethed with a desire for vengeance. Determined to end her torment and free her children, Gaia conceived a daring plan. Deep within her earthly depths, she forged a new material, a grey, unyielding stone, and from it, she fashioned a massive, razor-sharp sickle. A weapon made from her own substance, born of her own pain. Holding this fearsome tool, she gathered her other children, the Titans, and made a desperate plea. She spoke to them of their father's tyranny, of their brother's unjust imprisonment, and of her own unending agony. "My children," she implored, "your father has shamed us all. Who among you has the courage to help me punish his wickedness? Who will stand against him and end this reign of terror?" The Titans listened, but most were struck with fear. They knew their father's power. Who would dare to challenge the ruler of the sky? Silence fell over the gathering, a heavy, uncertain silence. The fate of the cosmos hung in the balance, waiting for a hero. Then, one voice broke the silence. It was Cronus, the youngest and most ambitious of the Titans. While his siblings cowered, Cronus felt a surge of courage, mixed with a deep resentment for his father. He looked at his grieving mother, at the formidable sickle she held, and he made a decision that would change the course of history forever. "Mother," he said, his voice steady, "I will do it. I am not afraid of our wretched father. I will take up this task and deliver us from his cruelty." His words were a spark in the darkness, igniting the first great rebellion in the universe. Gaia's heart filled with a fierce pride. She handed the great stone sickle to her son and explained her plan. That night, she would lie with Uranus as she always did, but this time, Cronus would be waiting in ambush. He would hide in the shadows, weapon in hand, ready to strike at the perfect moment. This was more than just a family quarrel. It was a cosmic coup, a changing of the guard. The son was preparing to overthrow the father, an act of defiance that would echo through the ages and establish a dark pattern of betrayal and rebellion that would define the gods for generations to come. As dusk fell, Uranus descended to embrace Gaia, suspecting nothing. He was arrogant, blinded by his own power, unaware of the plot brewing beneath him. Hidden from view, Cronus waited, his heart pounding, the cold stone of the sickle in his grasp. This was the moment that would end the first age of the gods and begin a new one. The rebellion was set in motion, a cycle of violence and power struggles passed down from father to son. The age of the Titans was about to begin, born from an act of vengeance that would forever scar the family of the gods. And so, the story of Greek mythology truly begins, not just with creation, but with the first, bloody rebellion against a tyrant king. The universe would never be the same again. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey back to the very beginning of Greek mythology. It's a world filled with passion, power, and epic conflicts. If you enjoyed this story, please hit that like button and subscribe for more tales from the ancient world. Let me know in the comments which myth you'd like to explore next. Until then, stay curious.